Alright everyone, welcome back to my fifth TouchDesigner tutorial, and in this one we're gonna build these forms, rectangles that are moving towards you, so like endlessly looping basically, and that are also audio reactive, as you can see. And we're also gonna build like very quickly the audio, like this glitchy, noisy sound that is also created in TouchDesigner. So it's mostly a work of instancing, and I'm just gonna rebuild the whole thing with you. So before I do that, just a quick look into my project folder, project container, so that I changed the background top to BG and the width and height to 1920 by 1080. Okay, so I'm gonna start or like begin with the end, and that's a null. And null that's called BG, just like my project container. And I'm gonna attach that to render and change the render resolution to the same size as my container. So 1920 by 1080. Okay, so here I'm also gonna drop a level and a lookup. To this lookup I'm gonna attach a ramp, and then you can see the background becomes a beautiful black color. Okay, so now I'm gonna add a camera and a rectangle. That's not a rectangle. There we go. And attach a geo to the rectangle. And I'm also gonna create a wireframe material. You could also work with a line, but I just like the look of this. Like so simple and clean. I'm gonna change the alpha to 0.2, turn on the blending, and gonna turn off the depth test. Just looks better in my opinion. Okay, so on the cam I'm also gonna change the two things on the view. One thing is the FOV angle. Like you can play around with that later, like around 130 or more. Really gives a cool effect. And I'm gonna change the far to be 5000. Okay, so that's the basic render setup. On Geo I'm also gonna turn on instancing, because that's what we're gonna do now. And I'm gonna put a null here, call that instances, attach it to a merge, and drop those instances like in here. Okay, now I'm gonna start with the first pattern that is driving the positions, and this we're mostly gonna just work with patterns. And this pattern I'm gonna change the channel name to TZ, because it's gonna be the transform Z. The length we can leave that as is for now, and change the type to a ramp. Okay, now I'm also gonna attach a map here and change the range from like 100, so like kind of right behind the camera, to minus 5000. Okay, now I'm gonna attach that to the merge, and on the geo, on the translate Z, pick that. So you can already see how the rectangles are being instanced on the Z-axis, Z-axis. And I'm gonna phase this so it moves in time. So on the phase, just type in this little Python expression that you all know, apps time.seconds times 0.2, I guess. That's a good value. Okay, so if I turn this up a bit for now, so you can see it better, it's like already moving towards us, just rather quickly, so you might not be able to see it that well, but that's fine for now. I'm just gonna copy paste this and change the channel name to TX, and change the type to square, and range from like -50 to 50. And I'm also gonna drop that into the merge. And on the geo again, select that for the translate. We also don't want this to phase. So now you can see they're being like rendered on the left and the right from you. Okay, so much for the positions. You could also drop a Y here, but I'm not gonna do that for now. I'm just gonna, one thing you wanna do here is like on the pattern 1, copy this one, copy the parameter of the length, and paste it in here. So now whatever you do here, so this just determines how many rects there are being drawn. I'm gonna change it to 1000 again. So whatever you put in here, it's also gonna be the same here. It's quite important. It's gonna mess up otherwise. Okay, so now I can just copy and paste this again and change its name to size X, and actually leave it as square and change the number of cycles to 4. Okay, and I'm also gonna actually on here as well, the amplitude I'm gonna change that from 0.5 from 1 to 0.5, and the offset also to 0.5. So now we're just working with the right range and the same thing here. So that just makes it so the range is from 0 to 1. Okay, I'm gonna drop the size X in here, and here on the scale X, pick that. So now you can already see it kind of working. I'm gonna change the range from -50 to 50 to like 50 and 400. Okay, I'm also gonna copy and paste this and change the name to size Y and phase it a bit, like 0.25. Also gonna drop that in here and change the range from like 200 to 600, and also pick that on the geo. Okay, so there you go. That's already looking pretty good. Now you maybe change this to so you can see better what I meant in the beginning. So it's like just how many rectangles you can see in there. It almost looks like a solid surface. I like it this way. Okay, and on the wireframe I'm also going to change this to like 0.2. Just looks a bit cooler. And there's I'm also going to show you one more thing here. If you just copy paste that again and change this name to like road, and make this like a ramp maybe. No need to phase this, and connect it in here as well, and change this from like -360 to 360. And on the rotate Z, for example, you can now take the rotate value, and now it looks really cool as well. Where else was on here? So I kind of get this bridge feeling, at least I do. Yeah, that's also pretty nice. But I'm actually gonna leave it away for now. So you just have these rectangles, and now I'm gonna start with the sound. So before I do that though, I'm gonna just drop a null in here, so we can easily interchange these. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna drop a noise here and change the channel name to size X, so same as the pattern 3. And I'm gonna change the period to 2 and the roughness to like 4 or something. Okay, I'm also gonna attach this to a math, and merge math, and change the range to 0 and 30, and then attach this to an oscillator. Okay, you can already see stuff happening there, and I'm also gonna put a device out after that so we can actually hear what's going on. Okay, it isn't too loud. Just gonna turn down the volume a bit. And I'm gonna change the type to ramp because I like that sound more. And obviously you can mess around with the period here. It's like gonna be like more seldom but longer. I like it this way. Okay, I'm gonna attach this to a resample, and I'm gonna take the value from the TZ up there and change the time slice to off and the method to new rate new interval. And now I'm gonna exchange this for the pattern. And now if I turn on the device again, you can see it working basically. So now obviously you can take any one of these, or basically any one of these, to map this to, and several ones as well if you feel like that. And you can, for example, also make this like this more, it's like stronger. Yeah, looking good. One last thing I'm gonna show you is, like, you can obviously take any kind of SOP in here. I'm just gonna show you with a circle. Change the arc type to open arc, and then just attach it in here. Now you have circles that are doing this weird glitchy thing. And yeah, and here again, you can change how many there are, and there's a lot of stuff you can do here, really. You can make this, for example, like a sine. So now it's going more like wavy left and right instead of being cut off. And here you can always change the cycle numbers, or like make this a triangle or a sine. Yeah, whatever. There's many things you can do here. I hope you like this tutorial. If I sounded tired, that's because it's extremely hot in Berlin. I'm still like, I'm done. That. But I hope you have fun and enjoy this, and see you on the next one.